Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my
Good afternoon, dear friends. I hope you all doing well. So good afternoon, Gaurav sir. I hope my voice is audible.
Good afternoon, Sushmita ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Yes, sir,
voice.
you can. Yeah, thank you, sir. You can take over the class. You can start the session.
Yeah, sure. Give me seconds. Hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So, in yesterday's class, we have gone through the basic overview of the blockchain technology. We have understood what we have, the main characteristic, their main pillars, and the main concepts, right? So, why do we need the blockchain system and all? We in today's class we will go through the transformation of money and some basic background of and some history of the blockchain technology. Why we need to implement this blockchain technology in current scenario. So, we'll cover these topics today in more deeper way, and we will get to know about how these things comes into a picture into existence of the current ecosystem, right? So let's move forward. So the first our slide is related to the transformation of money. So how transformation of money has happened till now, from ancient to medieval to modern, right? So we will get to know about and how blockchain plays its role in the transformation of money. We will cover those later on. So transformation of money is what we can say how it is formed into different aspects, right? Just give me a second. I think having some issues here. Give me a second.
Dear faculty members, as Gaurav sir is facing some network issue, kindly wait for 2 minutes. He is rejoining back. Kindly wait for 2 to 3 minutes. We will start the day.
Hello, am I audible? Sorry for the inconvenience. I was facing some technical issue.
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yes, yeah, let's continue. So we have discussed that the transformation of money. Like so, in earlier times, we have different types of systems in the transform for transferring of money, right? So what we have earlier in like very ancient times, we had this barter system, right? So what was that? So the earliest form of it is kind of a earliest form of exchange where goods and services were directly exchanged without any medium or any money. So basically, uh, if a person having some product or some commodity, so instead of so in exchange of the other commodity or other product, they just exchange their product from the other ones, right? So suppose if I'm having apples right now, and I want some guavas from other person, those who are having the guavas. So what I'll do, but I will take my five number of apples, and on the value of my apples, I will give to that person who is having guavas, and in exchange I'll take some return from that person in guavas form. In basically it is a kind of an exchange of the goods and commodity. So in barter system, that how it forms, right? And how it is how we are transformation of money takes places. So in that time, real money concept was not there. So to trade or to purchase or to buy or to sell something, this barter system was very helpful. So here, if we take example of one goat also, so one goat equals to 10 sacks of grain. So if somebody wants to purchase a goat, or somebody wants to purchase 10 sacks of grain, he has to, or she has to provide the alternatives of that particular commodity, right? So, but what is the limitation in the barter system? The double coincidence of wants. So both parties must have. So what does it mean? So double coincidence. So suppose if I'm having the apples, so I can only trade with that person or who is having the other one, the guavas. I cannot trade with or I cannot exchange my product or my commodity with that person who has already having the apples, right? So this is called a double coincidence of wants. So both parties must need what other offers, and where this things also comes key, where other wants, other has to be like party has to be agreed that whatever commodity is offering by the other one, he has the need of that particular commodity or product, right? So first limitation is in the barter system was this: no standard unit of value. So whatever the values were set right now in current scenario, in current ecosystem of the uh, financial transactions, that was not set earlier in ancient times, right? So no store of value was there, difficult to scale. If I wanted to purchase thousands of apples, so instead of giving some money, I have to provide some other resource alternative to that, which is exchangeable in exchange of that particular thousands of uh, commodity, right? The items. So that's why it was very difficult to scale. You cannot trade on larger scale using the barter system, though also so only few items can be exchangeable. Now second comes here is the mental accounting. The second concept is about mental accounting, where people have the calculation in their mind, and whatever and the products or the commodity they wanted to purchase or share or exchange, so they has to record the things in their mind. So early humans began mental recording depths and values. So it is a kind of a informal and social memory was used, agreement of governed transaction. So it was related to with the bonding and relation between the two people, right? So they have to calculate the calculations of the commodity in exchange, and alternatively they has to provide the other things. uh, and the trust was very essential in this thing. So if I wanted to trade something, I wanted to purchase or sell something, I should have a trust on the other party. Without trust, I would not be able to exchange my product or my commodity while doing the transactions, right? So the trust was very essential within the small communities, and this concept of mental accounting was only implicable in a small community of people, right? So this was the second concept after the barter systems came into picture, and then we have the mental accounting, right? So what is the limitations? Why then we have to move forward from the mental accounting to other ones? So the mental accounting has like kind of a limitation related to unreliable memory. So if I have to uh, learn something, I have to memorize something, the values of the transactions and the commodity. I have to rely on my memory, or I have to rely on the other party's memory. So it is not reliable. So I cannot rely on the third person or the second person who is exchanging the money. So in future they might say that okay, I forget that whatever you have provided to me, or whatever I have given to you, that was something different, and now you are giving me something different. So that's why it was very unreliable. So informal and non-verifiable concept is was there. So it is kind of informal in the sense only personal bondings and the trust was included into these transactions, and it is non-verifiable. So because the parties were engaged mutually, so no third person or third party was included into that transaction and the transfers of the commodity. So that's why it is non-verifiable. Nobody can verify that okay, someone has given this item to this person or so. So there is no kind of concept of a mediator or a trustee kind of entity between those two parties. Second, so these two are the limitations. So no structure for the large scale transactions. So large scale transaction, as I have mentioned, so if I have to exchange a large number of uh, products into market or into society, I have no like I have no the features of to scale my transactions and to provide my services to others. So that's why it is also not sufficient for the current scenario in the ancient times as the societies grows on. Now third comes here, the bookkeeping. So this bookkeeping was almost everyone knows about this concept. It is kind of a introduction of written records of transaction, so also known as sometimes someone also known as it is a ledger. So ledger is nothing but it is where you store your data, your information, and then on a particular time interval, you basically calculate all the incomings transaction and outgoing transactions, so that you can basically check over all the overall transaction within the time frame, right? So you used in the managing of trade and inventory as before the modern period starts, before the modern banking starts. So bookkeeping was very essential at that time. So used for managing trade, inventory, credits and debts. So these concepts comes into picture when this bookkeeping of transformation of money concepts existence comes into our financial ecosystem. Like so the clay tablets of the Mesopotamia, so the seals and all, you have heard about the seals where the kind of a money or a authority is used to do transaction, where you have to rely on the third person, right? So finance, on the finance perspective, the birth of accounting principle, basically bookkeeping is one of the main concept where the modern accountings has evolved. So every time the tracking of cash flow, profit and losses, you can track with this account keeping, book account keeping, right? Foundation of financial auditing and transparency, because you are maintaining all the ledger in and outs of the every transaction, every trade value within a book. So it is a kind of auditing and transparency medium for the trader or for the business person or for the seller, because by looking at the book or the transactions value, they can basically audit and check the values of whatever they has sell, whatever they has purchased, right? So that's how bookkeeping helps in that time. Traditional banking papers and then comes into a picture where uh, the traditional banking and paper money and coins comes into a picture, right? So introduction of paper currency or coins, you can say, like commodities, introduction of the paper currency backed by the commodity like gold and gold standards, right? So bank emerged to a store money where we can lend money and facilitate trade via the traditional banking system. So banks lend more than whatever we have right now. In at that time, fractional reserve banking begins, and banks, what does it means? Fractional reserve banking begins means the bank lends more than they hold. So that's how this concept also comes into a picture after the bookkeeping, right? So interest-based lending, loans, credit systems, central banks emerged during this concept, uh, and created a more regulated and scalable financial system over the periods, right? Now, where the modern banking system and digital currency comes into a picture, so where shift from physical money to digital money and card and online banking takes place after the digital paper currency, right? So finance in that transactions value and transactions we are doing. So it is a kind of a global where you can basically send or transfer some money from one user to another users, shift from the physical money to digital money, because over the internet, using the digital infrastructure, you can transfer from one account to another account, right? So you have heard about Swift and RTGS, NEFT, UPI, etc. So the modern banking, these are the concept of the modern banking, where you leverage the facilities of digital infrastructure provided by the services or the governments or the national infrastructures, where you use and do the transactions online. So which is very fast, global, and high dependency on intermediaries and bank and governments. So as I told you earlier in the previous concepts, there was some lacks of issues, right? There were some issues related with that. The transparencies was not there, regulation was not there. So but modern banking system and the modern currency system provides facilities also. So high dependency on intermediaries, and this is also kind of a something where uh, we have to depend on the intermediaries. So basically, if I wanted to send some money to my friend, first that request has to be raised by me for using the banking application, and then a bank server, what bank server will do, they basically take the values whatever I have requested for and validate that thing and on their main servers, and then execute the transactions value. So they deduct some amount from my account and some value from my bank account and add it to the recipient's account based on the condition what I have initiated for, right? So it was fast and globally accepted, high dependency on bank, government, central bank controls monetary policy. So inflation, liquidity, monetary policies basically handles the flow of the money into market, right? uh, and it is also kind of a single point failure subjected, right? Where every transaction, because in the current banking system or the traditional banking system, the central entity is involved into all the process. What does it mean? So every data is stored on a central database server, and it is a single point of failure if that particular database or data server hampers or is tampered out by some malicious people over the internet, by hackers. Then we can lose our data, we can lose our all the money, all the information whatever is stored on that particular database, right? So transformation of money from traditional to traditional money transform to have some challenges also. So what kind of those challenges has? So basically the high remittance fee, right? Slow settlement. So whenever you do some transaction, some international transactions or the or like domestic transaction, you have to do some payments. What does it payments it related to? That the banking fees, basically you provide some transaction fee, so basically some service to the service charge to the banking organization, where your money will be transferred to that particular person based on the amount you are sending. So it basically depends on the bank to bank how much they are deducting from your account for a particular transfer. So high remittance fees there for the international transfers, like slow settlement days for the cross border. If you are transferring to your international friends, colleagues, relatives, or family members. So suppose if you're transferring some money, $100 from USA to India, right? So then you might face some problems while doing the transactions. Your money will be credited from your accounts. Let's say I take a scenario for here where your money is has been debited from your account and is not reflected to your recipients, your family members account, where you go to that particular customer service portal of that banking services, where they check all the things related to your transaction, uh, that the amount you have sent, when you have sent, and that process takes a lot of time, and which is very like kind of a lengthy process, and in that all entire process, users become very like very uncomfortable while using the applications of the bankings. So these were the basic challenges in the current online banking and the banking systems I'm having. So opaque intermediaries. So whatever intermediaries is performing the transactions value, and they are validating the transactions request. Uh, you have no idea who is handling your backend database, backend processes of the sending your money from one end to other end, right? So it is very opaque, and you don't have the any idea how many people are involved over there, who is having the highest authority, who is having the accessibility of that particular things. So these informations really matters while you are while the transactions money transfers is involved, right? The currency conversion complexities is also there. So if you wanted to send some money from India to USA, or USA to India, vice versa, uh, so the currency conversion is very complex. So based on the economies of the countries, you have to change your currencies denominations. So right now, whatever the USD is equivalent to in INR, you have to taken care of that things. So that complexity and that thing also has to be addressed by the current banking system. So this is also kind of one of the limitations that provide that is faced by the users right now. So the lack of the financial inclusion. Okay, and the most important things here is in the banking system. Until and unless you are not having the details, you are not having the bank account, you cannot participate into a financial transactions ecosystem. And for that, what does it means? You should have a particular IDs of that particular place and so on. So you have to do KYCs, provide your user IDs, and some other details related with. So which basically provides the lack of financial inclusion. If somebody it does not have those details, those documents, they cannot have their bank account open there in their respective places, and they cannot do the online transaction or the financial transfer of money from one place to another. So they has to rely on paper money, right? Cash, on the cash is only, which gives the problem is faced by the paper money while during the transactions we have already discussed. Now next concept comes into a picture here is the cryptocurrencies, introduction of cryptocurrencies, right? Where Bitcoin was introduced in 2009, and decentralized peer-to-peer digital currencies was developed, built on blockchain and immutable distributed ledger technology that we have already discussed in last lecture. So it is why we came to onto that picture here is so basically it is a trustless system. No need for banks or intermediaries here. Why? Because it is open for everyone, right? And whoever is the member of that particular ecosystem, having the authority to take the initiative and to transact or do the operations on the network. So it is decentralized. Nobody has authority to manage or to change that particular data. So whoever having the membership or the participant are already involved, the data and the transactions are not owned by the single entity basically, right? uh, Now the next thing is the transparency. So at we have already knows transparency is a very one of the major concept of the blockchain ecosystem and blockchain technology in Web3 spaces. So every transaction is verifiable on the public ledger, as it is trustless, decentralized, and open. So it is public for everyone. Anyone can have the accessibility of the ledgers, right? Whoever is the user or the participant of that particular network using certain applications that supports a particular blockchain network. So this is one of the major advantage major advantage given by the cryptocurrency as a blockchain, right? Because it always in so far we have come across from the barter system, mental accounting, bookkeeping, and then digital current, and then paper money, online banking, right? So we have come across so many systems. So the blockchain has implemented all the solutions that we have that the problem we have faced in the previous is one. Security is one of them. So cryptographically in cryptocurrencies or blockchain, in blockchain we are implementing the cryptocurrency on the top of blockchain technologies, where cryptographical encryptions and encryption mechanism and consensus mechanism has taken place to enhance the security, as we have discussed, and in the further lecture we will discuss them in more detail. uh, so programmable currency basically, where you can program your own currency based on your requirement or based on the current market requirement of the ecosystem. So these are the major advantages of the cryptocurrency and the blockchain over system. The transformation of money has taken place so far. uh, After the cryptocurrencies, altcoin and DeFi comes into a picture into finance sector. So alternative coins is the cryptocurrencies to Bitcoin is Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, right? So these are the main some altcoins in blockchain ecosystem right now. Many offers additional utility, smart contract platform, and faster transactions. So Solana is one of that blockchain who has the higher transactions on the network and handles thousands of transactions in thousands of transactions per seconds, as the as this the major hurdle in the online banking systems, because it was based on the central entity, right? So these are the things that has been developed till now in the financial transformation of money. uh, Financial products without intermediaries means like lending and borrowing, like components in cryptocurrencies and altcoins. We have also kind of a decentralized exchange, stable coins, yield farming, staking, derivatives, insurances. So we have also these kinds of thing where financially we are implementing more and more concepts using the blockchain technology, because it is providing so many facilities to the users, right? uh, so finance perspective, so eliminates the banking, as we have discussed. It basically eliminates the bankers, brokers, like, and cryptocurrencies and altcoins major advantage is it is a 24/7 market. So whenever you open your uh, uh, application, your blockchain application or your Web3 application, it is 24/7 available. You can send anytime any amount of money to any number of people. So now the next concept comes here is DeFi apps can interconnect like Lego blocks, right? Composability basically. The concept here is, so blockchain technology is very flexible and can be integrated with anything, and it basically has the reduces the fees and faster settlements, because it is a trustless and decentralized. So obviously the lower of the fees you are paying. So suppose if you are paying 10 rupees over the thousand over 1 lakh rupees in current banking system, centralized banking system, using the blockchain and the decentralized cryptocurrency platform, you are paying the 10 times lesser than that what you are paying in the current banking systems. So if you are paying 10 rupees, so in using the blockchain or blockchain ecosystem or blockchain platforms, you are paying rupees 1 only, right? So these are the main how this transformation of money has taken place from ancient to modern, and now the current scenario we have covered here. So let me know your thoughts over it. Like if you are having any doubt related till now in these concepts and all, please feel free to share. I'm giving you 2 minutes to think over it, and let me know what's your doubts over here. Yes, Shmita, we can store real-time data on blockchain. Basically, the real-time data, what does it means? That basically every data whenever we store on the blockchain, it takes time to be incorporated into a particular file or the block size or a particular into a particular block, and then after that it can be stored on the blockchain. Okay, so real-time example here, we can say where suppose like if you're taking the if you take the example of the traffic signals, right? Uh, where every data, the number of the vehicles you are passing, number of vehicles passing through particular traffic light is being stored on a particular data transactions, and in the form of batching, and you are storing that particular value of the vehicles and the data, and publishing it over the blockchain network. So in the real time it is storing, you are storing basically the timestamp of particular event, right? So in real time, basically, what does it means? You are storing the time value of a particular event. So if you are saying that and then and that real time, it means whenever you click that should be stored over the network. So that is not possible for now, because every transaction has some certain limits to be added into a block. So that's why if you're going to that way, the transactions value of to be added on the block is in the real time, so that is not possible for now. But yeah, you are storing the value of any event at a particular time on the blockchain. And so we are learning its first application, basically, like how we have come across from the various things. So before understanding of any concept, you have to learn about, you have to have understanding about how before this particular thing, before this technology, what we were using and what was the drawbacks and the limitations that we have had, that we have had earlier, and how we minimizes those things, or overcome those problems, and implementing the current in current scenario using blockchain technology, that has to be addressed here. So because that's why I'm explaining you. And that's why obviously, and your question is related to the finance and all the cryptocurrencies. So blockchain is a concept over which the cryptocurrencies has evolved. But in India right now, what we have seen here is it is used like parallelly. So many people have like understanding related, the thing is Bitcoin is equal to cryptocurrency, but it is not. But cryptocurrency is one of the major concepts that that Bitcoin has implemented till now. So cryptos are not allowed that legal in our country right now, right? So cryptos can be banned, but technology cannot be banned, and that's why we are learning how to apply it in domains. So that's why we are taking the example of these things. Hope I have answered all your questions. Let's move forward. Right, so the era, so the summary, so here the era and the medium and the characteristics of financial impact that we have covered till now. So barter system was related to exchange of goods, right? Direct exchange and inefficient, because it cannot be scalable, and that's why it was not that much reliable. And no accounting system was there, so that's why financial impact was not implemented at so large. Then we came up to a mental accounting, where memory was a medium. We have to recite everything and store into our memory. Uh, and it is a kind of an informal debt tracking, because you have to have trust over the next party, and then you can do the transactions and trade. So trust was a very essential part of this process. So, and then we came up to bookkeeping, where we write transaction over the ledger, using paper and kind of a ledger book structure record. So this was the bookkeeping was the kind of a first thing where structural record keeping was maintained, use and we have the traceability and the accountability implemented over there. So foundation of modern accounting is also called as a foundation of modern accounting, because earlier, before invention of the internets and computer system, bookkeeping was very common practice in finance. Traditional banking, paper money basically. So paper when paper money has invented, then centralized control interest system was also developed. Central entity banking entities and the government has involved, and try to regulate and make the policies around it, credit loans, central banks, and then we have come across. Then we came up to modern banking and digital money, where we have the number of value where we have used the internet and the computer systems to do transactions. Basically we whatever the amount we have stored, we have saved in our bank account. So the same number of the amount value has been replaced to our to the particular number, and that was reflecting to our applications and we are how we are doing transactions. So online payments, global transactions, faster bills, but still centralized. So these modern banking has taken care of the faster things, but it was also centralized because the banking system and the government entities was involved over there. Now next, come to picture why we need blockchain, right? So as we have come across, so it has the limitations in the previous system and the current banking system, or the current ledger system, database system we have implemented in any kind of domain. So have the limitations. So as I have discussed, so high remittance or the intermediaries is allowed only to do communication between two parties. Slow in process. It takes days or sometimes weeks also to settle any dispute and redressal of the issue of by the user raised by the users that they are using the platform of the banks and all. uh, opaque intermediaries, whatever the application or the banking organization you are a part of, you don't have the idea who is the behind the scene, who is handling all the things, all the data related to you, your personal identity, your information, your amount, your balances, and so on. Right. Currency conversion complexities. The complexities related to transfer the money from based on the economies of the one country to another country. So whenever you travel to other countries, you have to use the that particular country's currencies. So the currency conversions and complexities was there. So every country has to have their mutual agreement between the currency conversions. So that has also a kind of a limitations. That's why we have implemented the blockchain, which is a borderless, right? Lack of financial inclusion, where money is involved, where money is involved over these things, right? So the centralizations, high transaction fee, slow settlements, lack of transparency, limited financial inclusion, intermediary risk, security issues, lack of programmability. So these are the problems that we have encountered so far, and we have come across that okay, these can be a problem. So in the centralization, the entire control lies with the central banks, governments, and financial institutions, right? A single point of failure, hacking, or collapse of central authority can be disrupt in the entire system. If any organization is storing all the data on a particular one server, which is centralized, that so it is very likely to be like hacked or to be tempered by the hackers or the malicious peoples who is having the expertise in that domain. High transactions cost, basically intermediaries like bank and broker, clearing houses charge fees to do transaction, to pay to do payments from one end to another end. Cross-border remittances basically is very high, 5 to 10% or more, even more. Fees on small transactions hurts microeconomies also. So basically, who want to send some a few amounts, that also has to taken care by handling the transaction, high transactions fees cost to that particular transaction related with that particular banks. As we have also come across the slow settlements, bank to bank transfer, especially across the border, takes 2 days or 3 days sometimes in the international banks. International transactions involve multiple intermediaries, currencies conversion, compliance check, regulatory regulations, and all. KYCs is one of them, kind of thing. Lack of transparency, users have no visibility into how banks manage the process, as I have told you. Opaque auditing and reporting mechanism, nobody has the idea how this auditing and reporting mechanism is working behind the particular all the infrastructure and the system. uh, Risk of corruptions or manipulation of records, because it is a centralized and managed by a certain people or one person. May arises the chances of doing corruption and manipulation of records, where that particular central entity can change your data and do transaction on behalf of you, because they have the all the data related to you, your whether it is your name, your password, your the values, your amount, and so on. Like, so limited financial inclusion also related to that. What does it mean? So 1.7 billion adults remain unbanked globally, traditional banking system, because required KYCs and all. So until and unless you don't have the documents related to do KYCs and ID verifications and so on, you cannot be a part of that particular infrastructure, right, in current banking system. Also, some banks have the problems related to handle minimum account balance to maintain an account, which is a very common problem right now in current scenario. So that's why people like li- mm, people have no facility to be included into financial things, right? So, and rural areas often have no access to bank or infrastructure. So if you go to in India, outskirts of the your native places, you may encounter that only hardly one or two banks you will address over on that particular place to do a transaction or to provide the facilities. uh, but now these are the things which is very similar, which is very common, right? Intermediaries risk, multiple parties have involved into doing payments, where banks is involved, a payment processor is involved, using whoever the payment processor intermediaries using their services over the internet, and doing the communication between one bank account to another bank account, which is a collaborative effort handled by a particular one entity, is known as a payment processor or payment gateway provider that we use in our applications or the banking applications. Custodians, right, basically each step add a risk of failure, delay, and cost. So if whatever so take here example of if a farmer wants to sell their uh, uh, product into a market. so they have to travel to a particular market, so they have to bear a traveling cost, and then into that market they have to do some uh, entry fees or the registration fees, and then after that the intermediaries, whoever is doing the doing handling the large transaction over that place, they have to do some payment over to them also to sell out their things. And then after that, from that particular thing, product is goes to distributor, and then in the retailer, and then customers. So as soon as as the product or the transaction goes through step by step, and including several entities in between the process, the cost of the product will increase. Same as here in the transactions and the financial transaction, or the in banking transaction, as many as the entities is involved, that uh, in basically increases the risk of failures, delay, and costing, right? Now that comes to security issues. So central database are vulnerable, as you know. Data breaches in bank exposes users data, high cost to secure legacy infrastructure, because it is a very common practice in banking system to maintain or centralize things over their infrastructure only, whatever it is, cloud or in-house. uh, it comes under only a central entity, right? Now the lack of programmability. What does it mean? So traditional money system can't automate complex logic. Example: conditional payments, escrows, escrow releases, etc. So without manual interventions, you cannot do these kinds of things, these kinds of processes. So these are the problems that we have encountered in the current scenario, in current ecosystems. Uh, hope you have understood till now. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask questions. Just 30 seconds, and if we are not getting any questions, then we'll move forward. Okay, let's move forward. So blockchain has a solution. Now, how blockchain is providing this solution? So the problem area we have encountered for so far, the centralization, right? So centralization is a problem area where traditional system is single authority. How blockchain solves it? The decentralized network, no central control over there. High fees is there, so intermediaries take cuts. And in blockchain system, peer to peer transaction and minimal fees is involved. So if we are paying, suppose, 10 rupees for a particular transaction, in blockchain system we are using only 1 rupees or 10 paisa related with that particular transactions. Slow settlements. So basically transactions, traditional system basically gives you 2 to 3 days to do settlements. But in blockchain, real time or near instant settlements is there. Lack of transparency, because the closed ledger, who only the certain people has the accessibility to that particular ledger, so that you are not able to check the all the information. So that's why. But in blockchain, public and verifiable ledgers are available, where you can get to know about how many transactions I have sent it to, and who was involved to that particular thing, who has done that validations and so on. Sorry. Financial inclusions, because it requires banking documentation and KYC process. But in blockchain system, anyone with the internet and the wallet can join. No KYCs and no documentation is required, because it doesn't store any kind of data of your personal identity. Security threats. So centralized, because of the centralization, it is basically vulnerable to get hacked. But because of the cryptographic security and distributed nodes, a blockchain is impossible to hack and to be get affected by the hackers. In It is a manual process in the traditional system, so delays and paperwork are involved. But in blockchain, everything is automated process and digitally stored. Many positions of failures, because as many as entities involved into a particular process, it becomes a point of failure to that particular instance. But in blockchain, everyone is related to, because we are removing the middleman and the trustless scenario. So the trustless system removes the middleman basically. So everyone has the basically the providing the 24/7 kind of concept, where the point of failure is negligible or near to negligible, right? Let's move to history of blockchain, right? So now what are the benefits, as you have gone through? Transparency is there, speed we have, because it and transparency, how we are handling the transparency. So because of the distributed and decentralized and open network, because that is which is public in nature, how that's how we are providing, that's how blockchain is providing the transparency, speeds. Basically, whenever you do transactions, it is validated within particular time frame, and it is very fast than the other banking systems also. So security is there, cryptographical hashing algorithm and cryptographical methods are used over there. So that's why it is also secure. So decentralization is there, low cost is there, financial inclusion, because of the documentation and the personal data is not required. Only the internet and the device or the application you required for to run an application and to generate your IDs. So how that we are including the financial, so how it is including everyone into ecosystem. Automation is there, so it's basic using the smart contracts and the automated process. You can handle the complex automated things. Auditable trail of all the transaction, because of the public and public in nature and the transparency over there. It is auditable, and you can find the trail of the all the transactions. So basically, whatever the transaction you have done, whatever transaction you have done 2 months back, whatever transaction you have done 2 years back, you can get the all that information, right? Now let's come to roadmap of Bitcoin. How Bitcoin has evolved till so far. So Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency, also known as a cryptocurrency, as I have told you. Bitcoin is not a blockchain. So Bitcoin is a kind of a application which uses the blockchain technology, and becomes a kind of an application, or the use cases for the customers or the market. It was invented in 2008 by an unknown person, or a group of people using the pseudonym name is Satoshi Nakamoto, and released as open source software in 2009. Right, so nobody knows who is the creator of the Bitcoin and Bitcoin network. So Bitcoin is known for its characteristic of decentralization, limited supply, and transparency. So right now, in current banking system, this total supply. In the paper currency, how paper currencies works. So whatever the number of amount of gold or the value of gold we have stored into a central bank, the same relevant to same amount of paper currency or the value of same currency we can print, or the government can print. But as soon as your the gold value or the gold amount has increased, you can also print more money. But in the case of Bitcoin, it is fixed. You cannot change the the total supply over into an ecosystem. You cannot basically add more and more money as the demand grows or a demand wants to get more number of tokens. So that's why Bitcoin is known for its characteristic of decentralized and limited supply and transparencies. Uh, now, so in October 2008, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, which was generated, in January 2009, first block of Bitcoin was created. That is block 0. At the same time, in 2009, first blockchain Bitcoin software released, where and in 2010, sorry, in May 2010, two pieces. How many of you have heard about the two pizza for 10K bitcoins? Basically, was purchased. So you have heard about there were some people, some person who bought two pizzas using Bitcoin, and he spent 10K Bitcoin over that pizza, right? So at that time, that money was involved, right? So this was the one scenario where Bitcoin was used first, into May 2010, and in 2011, online platforms started accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. And in right now, there are so many applications, though so many countries who is accepting Bitcoin as a payment system or the payment method. In 2013, its price skyrocketed over to $1,000 per Bitcoin, and 2017, 20,000 per Bitcoin was reached. Bitcoin enters a bear market where the value was very like value was increasing at very rapid speed because of its limited supply and high market demand. So demand and supply concept of economy is involved was involved at that time, where the limited supply affected the value of the Bitcoin's value, Bitcoin's currency, right? So in 2018, Bitcoin enters a bear market, where value of its one coin was skyrocketed. In 2020, Bitcoin experiences a resurgence in interest and price, and in 2021, Bitcoin surpassing $60,000. Uh, in 2022, volatile but maintains its status, and right now stability as matures as an asset classes. So right now, whatever the states you have, you can go through Bitcoin uh, 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 websites or Bitcoin Explorer, where you can take, or any decentralized exchange, where you can get to know about all the transaction details related to uh, blockchain ecosystem has done so far, right? And how many transaction is going through throughout the process, and it is still in progress. So that's what we have come across. Let me go through one of the concept, where I just wanted to share you one thing, one platform, and there you can check how blockchains are like creating, and how many blockchains and transactions are involved. So you can go to like Bitcoin Explorer. You can search over your browser, and you can check how many blockchains and what is the latest block has created so far, the latest transaction, what are the details of the transaction. You can also check, right? So how these platform, you basically provide the things related to how you can manage, how you address the blockchain finances, and how you can check your the every transactions and every value of the currency over the network. uh, any questions till now? Please feel free to ask. Okay, so cost is also going to increase in case of block mining. What is the difference between block chain and hyperledger? It was very I think yesterday I have answered this question. Cost is also going to increase in case of block mining. See, Yogesh ji, cost of mining a block can be increased or cannot be increased. It basically depends how much power you're consuming to do or validate or to mine a transaction. So it basically depends upon the it depends on the factors involving in the process. It varies blockchain network to blockchain network. So it could be different from it at the perspective of Ethereum. It could be different from the Polygon perspective and Solana and so on. So it varies basically. How we improve the security by blockchain. So blockchain uses the peer-to-peer connection and the decentralization concept, right? Where every data is linked to another one, and if you change the data, the rest of the linked data will be changed automatically. So if you wanted to hack the entire thing, you have to hack each and everything. You have to change every block, you have to change every transactions detail and the hash values. Because of the linearity of this in the nature of the blockchain, it is connected with each and every one, and cryptographical hashes are involved into that. That's why it is providing the hashings security, sorry. And it can improve the security of any chain. Gnash or remix basically it is an ID, Sushmita. Remix basically provides you a platform where you can use the editor where you can upload your contracts and all. This is for the development, and uh, it is related with the Ethereum platform itself only. So Gnash and Remix is related to only Ethereum platforms. Hope I have answered all of your questions. Okay, let's move forward. Now, our next concept is related to crypto wallets and their types. So, please tell me how many of you know about the crypto wallets. Please answer this question. What are the crypto wallets, and how much you are aware about of this crypto wallets and their types, so that I can get to know about and how much deep I have to go through. Uh, and also, please let me know. My speed is okay, or should I go a little bit slow? Okay. Let's. I think I have got an answer. So Srinivas Rao, you have no idea about the crypto wallet, or right? Okay. So Sushmita, can you answer what is a crypto wallet if you have if you know what the crypto wallet is? Anyone knows, please feel free to like communicate. If you know, if you whatever you know, please let me know in the comment box. So get to know about how much you know about the crypto wallets. I'll wait for 10 seconds more. If I'll receive any message, any answer, then we can move forward. Yes, MetaMask is a crypto wallet. Okay, let's move forward. I think many of you have no idea. So let's move forward. Right. So crypto wallet is a kind of a digital tool that allows users to store, send, and receive cryptocurrency or digital asset, basically. It can be a cryptocurrency or anything else, right? So it interacts with blockchain network, whatever blockchain it supports, to access digital assets or data. So basic feature is related to that. It has a private key and public key functionalities kind of thing. It uses secure storage, transaction authorization, and how these are like related to each other. We'll go through it. Okay, so why are crypto wallets important? Security is providing by the crypto wallets. So protects digital assets from hack, because it is related to blockchain, and as we know, blockchain supports the security and cryptography, right? And ownership, the most important thing, where every data is owned by you, is handled by the crypto wallets, basically. So provides users with full control over their funds. So whatever the funds you are having, whatever the data you are having, whatever the assets detail you are having, that is completely under your control, uh, if you are using any crypto wallets, right? Convenience enables easy transactions globally, and it supports 24/7 supports and communication between you and blockchain. So basically, whenever you wanted to communicate between whenever you wanted to communicate between you and the blockchain network, you have to use the crypto wallets for doing transactions. So in yesterday lecture, I have tell all of you that whatever the amount I wanted to send from my account to another person's account, right? So I have to use an application, whether it is a mobile application, web-based application, or anything. So it suppose enables easy transactions globally. Interoperability supports various cryptocurrency blockchain networks. So any blockchain network can be communicated through via crypto wallet. So any crypto wallets is able to handle or to implement communication setup between you and that particular blockchain network. Okay, now let's go to types of crypto wallets. So there are broadly two classifications. First one is hot wallet, and second one is cold wallet. So hot wallet is known as also sometimes also called as a online connected, internet connected wallets, and the cold wallets is cold wallets are offline wallets, offline storage things. Let's go to hot wallets first. So hot wallets are wallets that connected to internet, making transaction faster and easier. So it is related to the it always connected with the blockchain, 24/7 connection between blockchain, and it goes and it takes the inputs and provides the output to the blockchain, and takes the input from the blockchain network whenever you use that particular wallet application. So there are different type of hot wallets. So it could be a web wallet in form of a website, it could be in form of extension application, it could be a mobile application, mobile wallets, desktop wallet applications. So browser-based application like MetaMask. So MetaMask has two kind of application, which you can use on MetaMask, which you can use on a browser, whether your Chrome, Edge, or any other browser. So MetaMask is one of them. Trust Wallet is one of them, right? So these are two examples of the web-based wallet and mobile wallets. Mobile wallets also is a Coinbase wallet is also there. Binance wallet is also there. software desktop wallets are having some software on computer like Exodus and Electrum. These are the two main famous desktop wallets. So what are the pros and cons? I have also told you that it is very convenient and easy to access, right? More vulnerable to hacks. Why? Because it is uh, kind of a central thing, right? An application, you are doing communication with the blockchain itself, but it sometimes it is hackable. Why I'm showing and saying this in upcoming lectures, I will tell you how you can save, or how a blockchain wallet can be reliable or would be reliable to do communication or to interact with the blockchain. So more vulnerable to hack because it is a central in terms in nature sometimes. There are a number of wallets which is decentralized also. So decentralized concepts you have already know about, but I'll tell you in the upcoming lectures also. Right now comes let's come to cold wallet. So this is the offline wallet where that wallet stores private key offline. So every wallet you have, but whether it is a hot wallet or cold wallet, it always store the value of your private key and public key, making them secure from the cyber attacks, because it is not connected with the internet, right? So it is nearly impossible to hack or to temper that particular wallet. So there are two types of different type of cold wallets. So hardware wallets, basically physical devices, example like Ledger Nano and Trezor. It is a kind of a hardware wallet that supports the call wallet functionality, where you can store your private key and public keys. The paper wallet printed QR codes of private and public keys, and whenever it is used for whenever you feel to, or you wanted to use that particular private key and public key concept, public key to do a transaction, just scan that particular public key and private key and then do transactions. So it is highly secure, immune to online hacks, and can be lost or damaged. Cons, basically paper wallets are related to can be lost or damaged. So you have to store a particular place where it can be maintained and stored safely. Now let's come to the classification. So custodian and non-custodian custodial wallets, right? What are the things related to? So private key control, as whenever you communicate with the blockchain network, you have to do a right transaction, and for every right transaction, you have to provide your private keys. So managed by third parties, example exchanges. So custodian wallets are related things which is managed by the wallets, managed by the exchanges. In non-custodian, controlled by solely by the users only. So it is non-custodian wallets. So example are Binance, Coinbase wallet, and non-custodian is MetaMask and Ledger. Trust wallet are the non-custodian kind of wallets, where you are the owner of your own data and own things, right? uh, Now pros are related to user friendly backups and recover options. So custodian wallets basically provides the backup and recovery options, but in non-custodian wallet, full ownership and control of the assets. So if you lose your the private key and public key, you will not be able to retrieve your all the ID and the information and all the assets, right? So lose your private key funds are in irrecoverable. Not fully in control of funds. So this is the main con of custodian wallet. More vulnerable to hack on the exchanges because it is centralized and as I have told you, wallets can be hacked if it is an like handle or the maintained by certain central entity or organization. So more vulnerable or to hack on the exchanges. But in non-custodian scenario, it is more secure, but depends on the user's responsibility. If you are not, if you are maintaining your private key and public key very well, and storing at a safer place, or and managing those things, so it is very helpful for you to manage the security of your wallet. Usage is suitability, where goods it is good for beginners. So if any user wanted to use and want to experience to use the custodian wallets or the crypto wallets, they can start with this custodian wallet things, and it is very frequent for the traders. Basically, traders use it very frequently because they have to maintain all the data, and it should be recoverable, because the trading is related to where you store your all the assets in one applications and retrieve in one go. And it is also recoverable because related to money. So traders always choose the safer side option of recoverable things. But in non-custodian, preferred by the experienced user and DeFi participants. So DeFi is decentralized finance. The organizations or the individual owners who wanted to do trading but on using the non-custodial. So using all non-custodian and custodian wallets, you can do trade, but it depends on the users, so what preference they choose for. Hope you have understood till now. If you have any questions, please comment in the chat box. Let's move to another slide. So there are also another type of wallets, that is a multi-signature or multi-sig wallets. So requires multiple private key to authorize. So it is a wallet basically handled by the organizations or an institution to enhance security. So where one or more than two or more than two peoples are involved, person are involved in particular transactions. uh, right, so let's say a company has the board members of 10, and without any compromising the security, you cannot, or without compromising the anyone's availability, you cannot do the transactions using your signatures. So everyone's signatures or the authority has required on that particular transactions. So here are the examples related with Gnosis, Safe, and Bitgo are one of them example, the most famous ones. Now let's go through. Uh, if you have any doubt till now, please comment in the chat box. Okay. When we will create any account, we will get a public key as well as the private key. Yes, yes, Sushmita. Whenever we use a crypto wallet, right? Whenever we sign up for that, that application automatically stores the public key and private key over here. So multi-chain is a concept also. So we will like address this multi-chain concept also in upcoming lectures. SD Patil. Please ask your doubts till now, whatever you have. No doubts. Okay, let's move forward. Now the transaction flow of blockchain. So the marketplace. Let's understand it with a story. Let's take an example of the marketplace in the bustling digital bazaar of cryptophania. Traders from across the globe buy, sell goods using cryptocurrencies, right? So take an example here. I'm taking my example. So as a merchant selling handcrafted drugs, lists my item, these items for sale, and accepts payment in Bitcoin. Right, where the transaction were using the things related to the cryptocurrencies. Now a buyer where suppose let's take an example of Shushmita. So Shushmita is a buyer from another city, select a rug and decided to pay me 0.05 Bitcoin or BTC, and she initiated the transaction by sending the Bitcoin from her wallet to my wallet address, right? So using transactions value, using those values, she's basically transferring me some money. So in the next step, what we are using, so once transaction is submitted to the blockchain network, miners begin verifying its authenticity. So basically, as I have told you in earlier also, so miners have to pick up the transactions from the mining pool, and then miners compete with each other to find the value. So in this thing, the miners begin verifying its authenticity. They ensures that Emma has enough fund in her wallet, and that has spent same amount elsewhere. Right? She didn't spend so much amount in anywhere. Now, so these confirmations are related to the authenticity of the Sushmita, where she has the validated amount or not, she has the authority to do transaction or not, whether she is the member of the network or not, and what kind of application she is using, and so on. There are multiple criteria related to blockchain, and depends on and varies blockchain network to blockchain networks. Now, after the validation process, the transaction is bundled and into a bundle with over other verified transactions, and added to a new block. So every block has not has only one transaction. Every block has a number of block transactions, and it depends on the time. So within that time period, whatever number of the transaction comes, and that will be bundled into one and converted into a particular size related to that fixed size that way I have already told, uh, which varies from blockchain network to blockchain network. So suppose if I'm taking the example of 1 MB, so suppose in that particular time frame, suppose in 5 minutes the 5 transactions has been initiated, that 5 transaction will be bundled into a one transaction and added to a block. If thousands of transaction has been comes into has come into 5 minutes, so that 1,000 transaction will be bundled into one and added to a block. It but the size has to be 1 MB, that is already predefined by the network. So these are things related with the all processes. So once the transaction is confirmed, by the nodes, multiple nodes verify it, Sushmita and me can see the transaction all on the particular blockchain ledger, which is nothing but a open platform for all the users who are the members of the blockchain ecosystems. Since blockchain is immutable, the records cannot be altered or deleted, and whatever the transactions has been initiated, that was related to our blockchain, public key and private keys. Now, I received some Bitcoin in my wallet, and Shushmita awaits the arrival of her rugs. So decentralized systems ensures trust without need for middleman and making both parties satisfied. Right. So that's how the process took place in entire flow. Right. Uh, in the crypto wallets, as I have told you, crypto wallets doesn't store the value of the it's basically store your public key and private key on the applications. So how might have some questions related to that, how the data is also stored. So we will cover also. If you have doubts, please bring your questions in the chat box. Now, here we have come to consensus mechanism, where the validation process takes place here, the validation by the miners, and then and between the process of validation by miners and adding to the block, in between the consensus mechanism works, as I have also briefed you about this thing in previous lecture. So proof of work is a consensus mechanism used in blockchain networks. It ensures the security, decentralization of transactions. Miners compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles to validate transactions. Right. The first miner to solve the puzzle adds a new block to the blockchain and gets a reward in return. So whenever transaction has been initiated, suppose Sushmita has initiated a transactions and wanted to send some money to me. They have she has just initiated a transaction, and as soon as she initiated, the miners get the events notification that someone has initiated a transaction, and that transaction has come into a pool. And then after that, what they do, they pick up all the miners pick up the transactions, that particular transaction, and compete with each other to find the value of that mathematical puzzle's value, uh, uh, the and compete with everyone and wants to solve that particular puzzle, and want to get the benefit of the to adding the blockchain basically, and wants the reward value. So as soon as who mines or solve the puzzles or find the value of that mathematical puzzle, which is called as a nonce value also, so that miner will be able to get the money, or get the award. So transaction initiated, right? Transaction initiated, user initiate transaction that gets broadcasted to the network that I have told. It goes to verify to a particular transaction pool where unverified transactions are grouped into a particular place. And then my mining process begins as soon as the event was broadcasted to all the miner members of that particular network, and miners start competing to solve cryptographical puzzles. Solves the miners must find the nonce a random number, and then result in is validated to hash. So block validation, once the miner finds the correct hash, the block is broadcasted to the network, and then other miners verifies that particular nonce value and add it and broadcast the messages to other members also, that is also that this value is correct, and the consensus is achieved. As soon as the consensus is achieved, the block or the transaction has been added to the blockchain network. So this is the entire end-to-end process, and we have come across so many things till now. If you have any doubt, any questions, please feel free to ask. Let's take a break also for 5 minutes, and then I'll put up some questions for you uh, to get how much you have to how much you get to know about in today's lecture. We will have some quiz sessions in for 5 minutes. Let's take a 5 minutes break, and then we can start. So consensus mechanism and smart contracts are different. Uh, those two different, those are different things. Sushmita. No, no. To store any healthcare data, you can use any public blockchain network. So they provide you related to the data, and they provide you the infrastructure, the SDK file, the developments things, and also and the other supports also. Is the coffee vending machine is a smart contract? Yes, you can say the principal approach is the same, where the coffee vending machine has or any vending machine has the logic already set into their system, where uh, once whenever the user is entering, providing the input as a currency, as a paper node or a coin, so based on the analysis what the computer has set in the system, it provides the data that okay, in using that particular amount of money, what how much items you wanted to select or you wanted to purchase. So based on the inputs of the users, they provide, so suppose that user has selected the coke, biscuits, and other stuff like chocolate, within $100 of note. So that machine process the transaction, machine process the all the inputs, and based on the inputs and analysis, on the analysis, it gives the output and provides the all the stuffs from the vending machines, and return the all the changes, whatever the amount has been deducted from that particular $100 note. So yeah, you can say that the smart contracts also works on the logical predefined logics. So oh, I can convert. Okay. So how can you convert the Indian rupee to Bitcoin? Okay, so you have to use any crypto wallet or crypto exchange where you can do transaction um, through your fiat currency banking system to that particular exchange, and using that exchange platform you can purchase Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies available in the market. Uh, See, smart contracts are not vulnerable because it is stored on the blockchain network, and in the blockchain network, whenever you store, use storing a smart contract on a on a blockchain, it is also kind of a process. So basically you are doing a transaction to store that particular smart contract on blockchain, and it gives you immutability functions also. So that particular smart contract becomes one of the main transactions within the network. So it is not vulnerable. So every platform has their own smart contract addresses and standards, so you can also get the information from our network's website or portal. You can get the idea how many transactions or the smart contracts have available in the market or the network. How it is cryptographically secured? So Abhishek ji, I'm not getting your answer. Can you text again? So I'm putting some questions in the chat box, right? Let me just give me an answer. What is the correct answer for that? I think I'm not able to paste it in the chat box. Let me share my screen and then we can start the quiz also. Give me a minute just. Is my screen visible? Okay. Which consensus mechanism is primarily used by Bitcoin? Just let me know your answer in the comment box. You have to provide. You have to answer these questions. Okay. Proof of work. 3 answers. 4. Okay. What does a smart contract do in blockchain? Most of the answers are B, C. So correct answer is B. The automates execution of contract storm basically. The last question. Which of the following is problem solved by blockchain in financial system? So increasing the middleman, reducing transparency, slow settlements and high fees, manual processing of invoices. Which one is correct? So most of the answer is B, but it's incorrect. So let's go one by one. Right, the questions I have given to you. So in the last question, so increasing middleman. So blockchain is not increasing the middleman; it is decreasing the middleman. It is not reducing transparency; it is increasing the transparency. Right. So C option is slow settlement and high fees. So this is the problem which is resolved by the financial system, the blockchain system. So correct answer is C, slow settlements and high fees. So high fees is charged by centralized entity and banking systems, and slow in process. So this is handled by the blockchain system. In blockchain and current system, the manual processing is involved of invoices in banking system, but in blockchain it is automated using smart contracts and automated systems. Now let's come to this question. What does the smart contract do? So basically smart contract prints a legal contract. It doesn't print a legal contract. Automates execution of transform contract terms. Yes, it is doing the automations of the execution. Basically predefined condition it is executing. It stores private keys. No, it doesn't store private keys. Creates physical money. No, it doesn't create a physical money. It creates physical money with help of some certain other things also. Which consensus mechanism is primarily used by Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is one of the pioneer in the blockchain cryptocurrencies ecosystem. So proof of stake, which is used by Ethereum, proof of history, which is used by Solana, proof of work, which is used by Bitcoin, and Byzantine agreement, which is one of the another use in the market available, which is used by other blockchains like Byzantine is used by Polygon, Ethereum in some way. Right. So this is till now we have covered so far. I'm open for the other questions. If you wanted to ask any other questions, please feel free to ask. DOD not get the last question. Okay. The last question was related to which of the following is a problem solved by blockchain in financial system. So what is the problem? So the problem was related to slow settlements and high fees, right? This was the problem in the current financial and centralized systems, which is solved by the blockchain financial system. Manual process is of processing of invoices. So invoices is not handled by blockchain system. Right? Increasing middleman is not handled by basically it is decreasing, and it is increasing the transparency also. So in that way, I hope you understand. So there are many issues related with in the current system, in blockchain system. So yesterday I have told you about the trilemma. So every blockchain organization or the entity trying to resolve this problem as soon as this possible. So the trilemma concept you can search over the Google and tell me about the things how you can implement your points or your views. I think we are good to close this today's session. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, keep learning. Thank you for joining this session. Bye bye everyone. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, dear faculty members, I hope you all mark your attendance. Kindly mark your attendance. As you all know, 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate. Okay. So, yeah, thank you all. We are winding up for the day. Thank you all. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m.